Hey guys, Legendary Grimlock here, and today we have Nergigante solo, the Monsterverse. Yeah, we're doing it here, and first things first, as always, we're going to establish some rules. So, this one is going to be a bit quicker than the Gamera one. We're going to go over pretty much everything, the scaling for Nergigante, and obviously the scaling for the Monsterverse, and we're going to see if he can really complete this gauntlet here, or can he get a higher score here, with him being able to beat the big four, that being Kong with his axe and the beast glove, evolved Godzilla, Shimu, and King Ghidorah. Nergigante will also have some changes in this one, so we don't have the whole size and weight argument that a lot of people are going to use in the comment section, I'm guessing here. So we're going to give Nergigante the same height as Godzilla in 2014. At least when he stands on his hind legs, he'll be around 354 feet, but dropping down onto all fours here, he should be around maybe a 10 or 20-foot difference, so let's say he's around 330 feet on all fours here. All right, so I think that should pretty much cover it here. Now, as for the scaling, I've said multiple times that the Monsterverse has planet to star levels of AP here, and that should really be no different at all here. Now, Nergigante, right? We're gonna have to talk about Nergigante scaling. Now, Nergigante, you could easily scale him above the entirety of Monster Hunter Rise and just about everyone in Monster Hunter World up until the Black Dragons. Yeah, so he wouldn't scale above Black Dragons here. But this is important as he should be the strongest monster outside of Black Dragons in World here. And he's actually shown this by killing Sherry Ishvalda. Now, I know a lot of people like to say that Shara was weakened here. But in actuality, in the Monster Hunter world, I think guidebook, I believe it was here, Nergigante would have actually killed Sherry Ishvalda regardless, and the rocks would have actually provided nothing but more than camouflage for Shara at all. So him being able to kill Sherry Ishvalda is very valid here. Now, Nergigante also possesses the other feats as well here, being able to overpower Devil Joe, who can stalemate other Elder Dragons, and simply bullying every Elder Dragon he's come across. And the only person that's actually been able to give him a decent fight is Rajang and Furious Rajang, to which he still promptly slaps away like they're nothing here. So, yeah, that's pretty much the world scaling. But in all honesty, he would scale above every monster in Rise. That's pretty prevalent here. Now, the reason why I say that is because his manhandling of the Elder Dragon Velkhana. Him being able to manhandle Velkhana, with Velkhana being actually able to give work to characters like Scorn Magna Malo and Primordial Malzeno, actually showcases that Nergigante would actually be able to demolish possibly the entire roster of Monster Hunter World here. And the reason why is because, again, he demolished Velkhana while Malzeno was struggling. The same Malzeno, and the same Primordial Malzeno, mind you, that was able to beat Geismar at full strength. Geismar was actually able to create a black hole out of his dragon energy. Now, you can interpret this in multiple things here, saying that it's a black hole simply made from his own power and stuff like that, and that this would only be planetary. Or again, you could say he's creating an actual black hole here with his power and put that as, what, star level? So again, it's very possible you could get it up there if you want to go that route here. Keep in mind as well, Nergigante would also scale above the rare species and the Elder Dragon level deviants like Hellblade Glavenus, which has shown to be able to cut the head off or decapitate a Devil Joe here. Yeah, I would actually count that for Hellblade Glavenus rather than a regular Glavenus, as a regular Glavenus scales to Rathalos, so it's a lot more applicable to a Hellblade than a regular one. And again, he would also scale above Thunderlord Zenogre, who's greater than Apex Zenogre, who Apex Zenogre was actually able to actually put some work on Amatsu, so you have some decent scaling here, and especially with Monster Hunter Rise, giving more context to the rare species being Elder Dragon level, like Rathian being able to literally three-piece a Kushala Daora. Now again, this could be because Rathian's poison is very effective against Kushal Daora due to its metallic composition. And honestly, Kushal Daora's weakness is poison here. But again, the sheer fact that it's still able to fight against an Elder Dragon and beat an Elder Dragon itself here, with also Silver Rathalos, as you saw earlier, being able to beat Devil Joe, sorry, not Devil Joe, Basil Goose here, pretty easily, does give, some solid scaling to Nergigante, as he would be above them. Let's also not forget he has a high level of regeneration, actually being able to regenerate on a cellular or molecular level. Alright, so now that concludes Nergigante, let's move on to round 1, the Fodder. Starting off, we have the Skull Devil in general, like any Skull Devil. Doesn't matter if it's the one from Mechagodzilla when he ripped it in half, or the one from Kong Skull Island. Skull Crawlers are fodder here. They don't even belong on this list, to be honest, but again, we have to start somewhere from round 1. They were the first legit threats, at least at a low level, right? They would even beat the Mutos. But again, it is what it is. They're fodder here. And Nergigante just breezes through. Next off, we got the Warbats. Again, while they are venom winged, and they were able to give a weakened Kong a hard time here, because again, Kong is actually like drugged up during this incident here. It's actually explained that Kong himself, they actually put a sedative that actually makes him more tired the more effort he puts into something. So yeah, Kong's really weakened in this instance here. But we see when Kong actually gets his hands on him, it's pretty much over. So Nergigante just bulldozes that one like negative difficulty. Next up, the one that hurts me the most, Methuselah. Bro needs more. Bro definitely needs to be in Godzilla X Kong the New Empire. But again, he is fodder. Alright? Unfortunately, he's fodder. Behemoth has more feats than him. Alright? At least a decent amount of feats more than him. So it is what it is here. But yeah, Methuselah gets crushed. One-shotted. More than likely eaten, because he probably is packing some protein with all that mountainous on him. And then there's Nikika. Now, again, underwater capabilities of Nergigante have never really been shown, but it is possible he could likely hunt, aquatic prey here, just like Astalos, Rathalos, and what's his name, Valstrex as well here. So again, I don't really see a problem with Nergigante likely getting dragged into the water by Nikika. However, due to his spikes and the sheer fact that he can shoot them suckers out as well, he would be able to demolish Nikika. Plus, Nikika really doesn't have any strength feats to indicate he could hold someone like Nergigante. Plus, holding Nergigante is probably a big mistake because, again, the spikes and he could just shoot him out through your limbs. Now, next up, we have the Mutos. Now, the Mutos are the decent ones on the first level list here. But again, they're not much here. And I can actually see Nergigante taking advantage of the male Muto being the only flying one and actually either using that to take him out, or again just taking out the female Muto almost immediately with a dive bomb and just straight up speed blitzing the male Muto while he's in the air. Or again, using his flight and actually outmaneuvering the male Muto, getting it by the wing, crushing it with his jaws or his limbs, and then proceeding to use whatever physical strength he has to just crush the female Muto's skull. Yeah, Nergigante would be brutal enough to do it. Plus, his black spikes pretty much give him the ultimate defense against any piercing attacks. So, round 1, honestly, low to no diff. Let's move on to round 2, the actual feats. Now, first off, we have Behemoth. And in all honesty, while I do like and love Behemoth, he's not going to last too long here. I mean, the best he has is his plant regrowth ability, where he's able to restore jungles, and his slight tusk regeneration. Maybe he can regenerate limbs. It's actually shown that he can actually regenerate tusks like pretty fast as well. But again, he was knocked out and one-shotted by Amalok. And then moving on to Amalok as well, I don't see him being able to stand up to Nergigante either. It's pretty obvious, right? Godzilla got a hold of him, or pretty much, I think he smacked him and sent him flying, and then once he roared at him, Amalok just bowed to him. Yeah, I don't see any reason why Nergigante wouldn't manhandle either one of these two, in all honesty. Behemoth tries to charge at him. Nergigante is going to rear up, grab him by the horns or the head, and just slam his head down and be done with it. Now, Amalok is pretty interesting because you do have to target the head, but I don't really think Nergigante will have any problem with that. Now, Tiamat. All right, let's talk about her. This one is actually pretty interesting in my opinion because Tiamat did fight against a weakened and exhausted Godzilla. Like, this dude didn't recover from the beating that King Ghidorah gave him and the amount of energy he used in his burning form. Yeah, he never recovered from that here, and yet he still was able to get the upper hand on Tiamat. What I actually see happening is, and we'll put Nergigante in the same situation here, where he's blindsided by Tiamat here. Tiamat is going to wrap around Nergigante, all right? Now, oh my gosh, I can't believe I forgot to explain this from the beginning of the video. Nergigante spikes will be fully hardened for every matchup he's in. So he'll have like a fresh, fully hardened spikes here and stuff like that throughout each match here. So, sorry, I forgot to mention that, but let's continue here. So, Nergigante, right, spikes should actually be able to keep Tiamat's blades from cutting into him. But the thing is here, this could get really, really messy for Tiamat. Because once, like, Tiamat tries to, like, wrap around him and tries to drown him and stuff like that, Nergigante could simply just release the spikes. And they would go through Tiamat, possibly killing her. Like, just piercing through her entire body completely. Like, just, like a whole bullet. Just, boom. Alright? Like a whole spike bomb. Like, those, like a nail bomb. That's what I'm trying to say. Like a whole nail bomb or something like that. Just, poof. Just goes right through and shreds them for maximum damage and maximum efficiency. And again, this would be within Nergigante's character. I don't see him really risking or at least taking any form of injury, or if he's in that situation where he's underwater, he would definitely get desperate enough to release all those spikes right into Tiamat and just making sure she doesn't get out of it. All right? And again, it's going to be bloody and messy. I don't even want to imagine. It's going to be that messy. So, in all honesty, round 2 results, definitely getting to mid difficulty. But now, let's head over to round 3, where we have the big boys, the heavy hitters. And Muto Prime is actually a very interesting one, thrashing around a 2014 Godzilla here. And his sonic screech should be able to give Nergigante definitely some trouble here. However, the thing is, though, Nergigante could actually avoid a lot of these attacks. Like, his flight gives him a lot more advantages over Muto Prime here. Now, Muto Prime does have his earthquakes and stuff here, but I don't see those affecting Nergigante when he took a full-on attack, unguarded by Shara East Valda, and was fine. Literally bursted out the mountain just to finish him off here. And again, he was playing dead. Not getting killed or nothing. Keep in mind, we did harvest some organs and stuff from him, but he was playing dead. Yeah, I don't see Muto Prime winning. I think Nergigante is just going to use his flight to outmaneuver him, catch him from behind, and proceed to just maul him from that point. Mechagodzilla is another interesting one because Nergigante can again avoid and tank a lot of his attacks here. He's taken ballistas that have actually been able to pierce through Zora Magdaros' hide, and he shrugs it off like it's nothing, like it's just a bee sting to him. And the thing is here, Mechagodzilla does have, more powerful artillery. Probably. It does depend. The guild does have some very powerful weaponry capable of harming the likes of, elder dragons and stuff like that, actually breaking pieces off here. But again, he is tanking attacks from more powerful monsters meant to bypass his durability. I don't see how Mechagodzilla is really winning a fight with a much bigger and stronger Nergigante. Well, sorry, much bigger Nergigante. I should really say, not stronger. Excuse me. Next up is Rodan, and in all honesty, this kind of goes like any other Elder Dragon battle, in all honesty here. The sheer fact that Rodan's first thing to do is really just go head on and just attack his opponents in a physical confrontation. Nergigante not only can fly, I definitely say he would definitely be able to fly at least a bit faster than Rodan here, albeit you could scale Rodan to relativistic if you scale him off of Godzilla's atomic breath, which does reach relativistic speeds here. But again, so do these Elder Dragons. They have been able to react and actually outpace monsters like Odogaron, who can react to light. And again, I don't see Rodan going down any differently than an Elder Dragon. Same with Mothra as well. They're in the same tier and the same caliber. So I would have to reward this round more so in the mid to high difficulty department. But let's move over to the big four. The finale. Alright, the final part here. And let's start off with our homie, the Titan Slayer himself, Kong. Now keep in mind, Kong is again fully equipped with the Beast Glove and his legendary Godzilla slaying axe. So, I see Nergigante winning. I really do. I really do. And it does pain me a little bit because I do love Kong, especially this version of Kong, because again, he's not dying to some jets here or dying for some nonsense reason here. He's actually putting in work against Godzilla and other Titans here. He's beaten characters like Camazotz, who's been able to black out the entire planet, or was confirmed to be able to even do it, and even black out the sun. Plus, with his Beast Glove and Axe, he's definitely putting work against Nergigante. However, it's very interesting here because we can compare Kong, or at least this fight in general, because again, remember, Nergigante is around the same size as 2014 Godzilla, and this could really go into like a Kong versus Rajang argument. And the thing is, I can just see the fight playing out the exact same way here. Except again, yeah, Kong has the Beast Glove. He's got, his axe and stuff like that. But there's no energy for Kong to absorb with the axe from Nergigante. And in all honesty, I think Rajang would be a little bit more powerful than he is just because of his hacks and abilities. So yeah, I would definitely give it to Nergigante here with mid to high difficulty, or probably just high difficulty across the board because of Kong's intelligence and how he fights. Now, next off, we got Godzilla versus Nergigante. This one is 50-50. I mean, Godzilla is bigger now, and, Nergigante is definitely the more durable of the two, as he has far better regeneration than Monsterverse Godzilla here. And Godzilla does have his long-range capabilities, but Nergigante can just simply increase his durability. Or again, since he's starting off at his peak here, meaning that his durability is maxed out, he could potentially just power through a lot of Godzilla's attacks. And again, if Godzilla is able to break off something or try to injure Nergigante, he can heal a lot faster than Godzilla can. It's honestly just automatic here. Yes, I know we don't see it in the game, but this would have made Nergigante a little too overpowered if he had an instant healing factor, healing from all the damage we just dealt to him. But we know he can do it because we kill him mid-game, well, kind of sort of kill him and harvest him mid-game, and then we just watch this man come back from the dead here. And again, I do think he can tank Godzilla's atomic breath here. So in all honesty, I do think he can beat Godzilla here with this size increase. Now, Shimu is a very interesting one, and it definitely depends on how you scale Velkhana's, bitter cold here. Because again, he tried to freeze Nergigante, or try to use his bitter cold to, I guess you could say, discomfort Nergigante here, and he just pushes that off like it's nothing. So it's very possible he can resist some of Shimu's attacks, but we know Shimu is definitely a lot more powerful than Velkhana's ice abilities. Maybe. I'm a little hesitant on that one. And it's it would be very interesting. It honestly is here. Now again, probably gotta do a bit more research on Velkhana's ice abilities and stuff like that. But again, I would definitely argue that Nergigante can just outmaneuver Shimu, as he's more agile than he is, or she is, excuse me. And again, Nergigante should be able to possibly power through the bitter cold or the frostbite blast, and definitely be able to regenerate from any damage that comes across it. Now, Ghidorah is definitely an issue for Nergigante here. Their regeneration is pretty close and pretty equal. However, if they take this fight to the sky, I think Nergigante has a very good chance at winning. Here's why, right? In the fight with Rodan, Ghidorah's first thing was to grab the wings and restrain him. Now, this could backfire because again, Nergigante's wings are covered with those spikes. So what if Ghidorah's two heads, both Kevin and knee or whatever, grab Nergigante by his wings where the spikes are, and then Nergigante decides to detonate those spikes right in those heads. They will more than likely pierce the brain and probably just, kill it all together, and then Nergigante can just go for the middle head and rip it off. In all honesty, I'm very convinced he would be able to do it here. Now, the final results I have here are a 99.9%, with possibly Nergigante getting a 100% completion here. The reason why he does a lot better than Gamera is because he's actually able to counteract and has a lot more ways to get through and bypass, or not bypass, I should say. I should be saying that his durability is more on par with characters like Ghidorah's and his healing factor than the likes of Gamera, who I think would actually do a lot worse because he doesn't have a regenerative healing factor. Unlike Nergigante, who can heal from any attack on a cellular level. So, I'm going to stick with the 99.9% here, but there's definitely arguments for a 100%. Anyway, that's going to be all today, you guys. Please comment down below, like and subscribe and share with your friends. This is Legendary Grimlock, and I hope y'all have a blessed day.